Atlanta is on fire with rumors tonight, and fans everywhere are gasping in disbelief. For years, the biggest question hanging over the love and hip-hop world has been simple, yet explosive. Who is the real father of Jasmine Washington's child? From the moment she stepped into the spotlight, whispers tied her to Kirk Frost, sparking battles that tore apart families, friendships, and even marriages. Rasheeda's tears, Kirk's denials, and Jasmine's silence only fueled the fire. Fans thought they had the story figured out, convinced the DNA trails led straight back to Kirk. But what if everything you believed was wrong? What if the truth has been sitting in plain sight, waiting for the right moment to shatter the narrative we've all been fed? Tonight, a shocking twist changes everything. Word on the streets is that Jasmine's baby daddy has finally been exposed, and fans are stunned because it's not Kirk. Let that sink in for a moment. Years of accusations, late-night arguments caught on camera, viral photos, courtroom whispers, and Instagram shade all now thrown into question by one revelation. The family that stood divided, the fans that picked sides, the friends who turned into enemies suddenly. The ground beneath them is shaking again. Who is this mystery man? How did Jasmine keep this secret hidden for so long? And most importantly, why is the truth only coming out now? As the pieces fall into place, the emotions are raw. The betrayals cut deeper than ever, and the reactions are nothing short of explosive. We're talking about Rasheeda's stunned silence, Kirk's outrage, and fans flooding social media with disbelief and fury. This isn't just another rumor. This is a bombshell that flips the entire love and hip-hop saga on its head. Stay tuned, because the truth behind Jasmine's baby daddy will leave you speechless. Fans are shocked. The cast is reeling, and the story is only just beginning. Under the flashing Atlanta lights and the never-ending whispers of the love and hip-hop crowd, the night cracked open with tension so thick it felt like a storm pressing down on everyone's chest. Jasmine Washington's name had already been echoing through the streets, in barbershops, beauty salons, and Instagram lives, but now it was louder, sharper, almost dangerous. For years, the baby daddy mystery had revolved around Kirk Frost, Rasheeda's husband, and every headline, every fan theory, every tear-stained episode had painted Kirk as the guilty one. Yet tonight, the city buzzed with a different rhythm. Rumors spread that Kirk wasn't the man at the center of this scandal after all. Fans couldn't believe it, but insiders swore this wasn't gossip, it was revelation. Rasheeda sat in her boutique, phone buzzing non-stop, scrolling through comments that called her a fool, a queen, a victim, all at once. One livestream after another tagged her name. Screenshots piling up of Jasmine stepping out with a man no one recognized at first. The comments screamed things like, "Is this the real daddy? And Rasheeda been dragged for nothing all these years." Her hands trembled as she tried to hold her composure, but deep inside, her heart pounded with anger and confusion. The betrayal she thought she knew now felt like something entirely different. If Kirk ain't the father, then who the hell is? She whispered under her breath, almost afraid of the answer. Meanwhile, Kirk was pacing in his office, slamming his hand against the desk. He had built an empire off his name, his family, and his brand, and this rumor threatened to destroy all of it. "They always want to paint me as the villain," he muttered, pulling at his chain. "Now they say I ain't even the father. Man, this is crazy." Yet, buried beneath the anger was something he wouldn't dare admit: relief. The possibility that the child wasn't his meant freedom from the guilt that had hung around his neck for years. The guilt that broke Rasheeda's trust and carved cracks into their marriage. But Kirk knew better than to celebrate. If the truth came out, it wouldn't just clear his name, it would open wounds deeper than anyone imagined. Jasmine herself had been spotted leaving a restaurant in Midtown, her face hidden under oversized sunglasses, but the cameras caught the man beside her, tall, broad-shouldered, with an unmistakable smirk. He wasn't Kirk, and he wasn't someone fans recognized immediately, but a close-up photo revealed a face linked to Atlanta's underground music scene. A man whose name had been whispered before in connection to Jasmine but never proven. The internet exploded, memes flooding Twitter, TikTok edits, splicing old clips of Jasmine's arguments with Kirk, fans screaming she lied all along. The betrayal wasn't just about Kirk anymore, it was about the fans, the family, the friends who defended Jasmine's silence. As the city buzzed, Jasmine's phone rang non-stop. Her best friend begged her to go live and clear the air. "Girl, they tearing you apart. You gotta say something before this gets bigger." Jasmine's voice cracked as she snapped back. "What the hell am I supposed to say? That I lied? That I protected somebody who didn't even protect me? Nah, I ain't ready for that." Her words hung heavy, revealing the weight of secrets she had carried for years. The baby at the center of it all wasn't just a child, it was a symbol of betrayal, love, and survival. And Jasmine knew the truth coming out would rewrite everything. Rasheeda couldn't sit still. She called Kirk, her voice sharp and trembling. "So you mean to tell me I've been crying, humiliated, and doubting myself for years for nothing? Kirk, if this is true, I swear." Kirk cut her off, voice raised. "Rasheeda, I didn't know. Don't you get it? I thought it was me too. Everybody thought it was me. This ain't on me, this is on her." But Rasheeda wasn't satisfied. The years of pain and public humiliation couldn't be brushed away so easily. "Don't you dare act like you innocent in this. You played the role, you let the world think it was you, and I suffered for it." As that heated call ended, Jasmine found herself backed into a corner. The man rumored to be the real father had already messaged her, furious. "You better not drag my name in this mess," he texted. Jasmine stared at the screen, tears filling her eyes. "You think you can hide forever? The truth's already out," she whispered, tossing the phone aside. She knew he was powerful in ways Kirk never was. Connected to dangerous circles that could make her life hell if she exposed him fully. But she also knew the lie was cracking wide open, and soon, nothing could hold it back. By nightfall, blogs and gossip channels went live, hosts shouting into the camera about the shocking twist. Fans are in disbelief. "Y'all, Jasmine's baby daddy ain't Kirk Frost. No ma'am, it's someone else, and we've got receipts." They replayed clips of Jasmine crying on reunion episodes, Kirk denying over and over, Rasheeda begging for truth. And then they showed the blurry photos of Jasmine with the mystery man. The audience poured into the comments, typing, "Oh my god, no way, Rasheeda deserves an apology." Emotions ran high, and the family stood divided. While fans kept speculating, Jasmine sat in her apartment, staring at a picture of her child. "I never meant for it to go this far," she whispered to herself. "I just wanted to protect him." Her words cracked in the silence, hinting at a story much deeper than what the fans saw. But as social media lit up like wildfire, one thing was clear: her silence had cost too much, and now the whole world demanded answers. Under the neon glow of Atlanta's restless streets, the city was already alive with the hum of scandal when the latest revelation exploded across every gossip page, every fan forum, every late-night Twitter space. For years, Kirk Frost's name had been tied like a knot to Jasmine Washington's child. A knot so tight that no amount of denials or explanations ever seemed to loosen it. Rasheeda carried that weight, Kirk lived under the shadow of suspicion, and Jasmine stood at the center of a storm that never died down. But now, after endless years of pointing fingers, the narrative snapped in half. Whispers turned into shouts, shouts became posts, and posts lit up the world with one shocking claim: Kirk was not the father. The true baby daddy had been exposed, and the fallout was more dangerous than anyone could imagine. Inside Rasheeda's boutique, the air was heavy with tension. Racks of clothes stood untouched as she sat behind the counter, her phone vibrating over and over with texts and notifications. Fans sent her screenshots. Friends asked if she had seen the blogs, and every new ping on her screen felt like another dagger. "So I've been dragged, humiliated, for years. And now they're saying Kirk isn't the father," she muttered, her voice tight, her hands shaking. She thought about the countless reunion shows, the nights crying alone, the sideways glances from people who doubted her strength for staying with Kirk. If this bombshell was true, then what had all that suffering been for? On the other side of town, Kirk slammed his fist against the glass desk in his office, his reflection glaring back at him. "They always want to make me the villain," he growled, pacing back and forth, chain swinging against his chest. "Now they want to act like I didn't go through hell too. If I ain't the father, then what the hell was all this about?" But his anger was layered with something deeper, something he couldn't admit out loud. For so long, he lived under the heavy silence of guilt, painted as the cheater, the betrayer, the man who broke his wife's heart in front of millions. And now, if the world knew the child wasn't his, maybe that weight could finally come off. But Kirk also knew the damage was already done. Rasheeda's pain was real, the public shame was real, and no revelation could erase that. Meanwhile, Jasmine tried to move quietly, slipping into a dimly lit restaurant with a man by her side. Oversized sunglasses covered her eyes, but nothing could hide the cameras waiting outside. Flashes lit up as they stepped out together, and the internet didn't miss a beat. "Who is this?" screamed the headlines. "Is this the real baby daddy?" Within hours, the man's face was everywhere. Tall, broad, a slick smirk frozen in the photos. He wasn't Kirk. He wasn't anyone fans immediately recognized, but those who moved in Atlanta's underground music circles knew the name. Rumors tied him to studios, to fast money, to a past with Jasmine that suddenly felt more important than ever. Jasmine's phone rang constantly. Her best friend's voice panicked on the other end. "Girl, you need to go live right now. They're ripping you apart. Do you see these comments? Do you see what they're saying about you?" Jasmine pressed her palm against her forehead, tears welling in her eyes. "What am I supposed to do, huh? Tell the world I lied? Admit that I protected someone who didn't even protect me? No. I ain't ready for that." Her voice cracked, but her tone carried years of exhaustion. The baby had been her shield and her secret. The one piece of her life she tried to control, and now that secret was slipping away. Back in her boutique, Rasheeda finally broke down. She called Kirk, her voice trembling with fury. "So I've been dragged for years, crying in front of the world, doubting myself, doubting my marriage. Now, you mean to tell me it wasn't even you? Kirk, I swear to God, if this is true." Kirk cut in, shouting through the phone, "Rasheeda, you think I knew? Don't you see? I thought it was me too. Everybody thought it was me. This ain't on me, this is on her." But Rasheeda wasn't having it. "Don't you dare play innocent. You played along. You let people think it was you, and I was the one humiliated. I was the one losing sleep. I was the one crying on camera while you stayed quiet." As that call ended in silence, Jasmine was facing her own storm. The man rumored to be the real father sent her a message that made her blood run cold. "Don't drag my name into this. You keep me out of your mess, or you'll regret it." Jasmine stared at the screen, her chest tightening. "You think you can hide forever?" she whispered to herself. "The truth's already out." She tossed the phone aside, her body shaking. The fear wasn't just about losing fans or facing public shame, was about the man himself. He wasn't Kirk. He wasn't bound by contracts and TV cameras. He was someone connected to dangerous people, someone who could make her life a nightmare if she exposed him fully. By the next morning, every gossip blog and entertainment site went live. Hosts leaned into their cameras, voices pitched with excitement. "Fans are in shock tonight. Y'all, Jasmine's baby daddy has finally been exposed, and it ain't Kirk Frost. No, ma'am, no sir. The truth is something far more explosive." Clips played of Jasmine sobbing on past reunions, Kirk denying with clenched teeth, Rasheeda holding back tears. Then came the blurry photo of Jasmine with the mystery man. "Look at this, y'all. Look at the way she walks beside him, the way he looks at her. This ain't new. This has been going on." The comments lit up. "Oh my God, Rasheeda deserves an apology. She lied all this time." The betrayal wasn't just personal anymore, it was public. And it was permanent. In her apartment, Jasmine sat in silence, clutching a photo of her child. "I never wanted it to go this far," she whispered, tears slipping down her cheeks. "I just wanted to protect him." Her words hung heavy in the air, carrying the weight of years of secrets and lies. But the world outside her door wasn't waiting for her side. Fans wanted answers, and they wanted them now. The real father's name started surfacing online, pieced together from old posts and industry whispers. Screenshots of past interactions with Jasmine, old photos of them at the same events. Comments from people who claimed they knew the truth years ago, all suddenly resurfaced. "We told y'all it wasn't Kirk," one user wrote. "She'd been protecting that man for years, and now look." The whole story blowing up. Twitter trends carried his name. Fans dissected every clue, and Jasmine's silence only made it worse. The Frost family couldn't escape the fallout. Rasheeda's mother called her, voice sharp and protective. "Baby, I told you something wasn't right. I told you not to let this girl break your home. And now look at this. Now the world knows it wasn't Kirk. But they dragged you. They dragged us. For nothing." Rasheeda closed her eyes, her mother's words burning. "It doesn't matter, Mama. The damage is already done. I lived through it. I lived through years of being a fool in their eyes. No truth can erase that." Kirk, sitting alone, poured himself a drink. The phone buzzed with interview requests, producers asking for statements, people begging for his side of the story. He stared at the glass, his voice low. "What's the point? They'll never see me as innocent. They'll just see me as the man who let the lie live." And in the middle of all this chaos, Jasmine's mystery man finally broke his silence. A cryptic post appeared on his Instagram story, a black screen with 3 words, "Don't test me." The post sent fans spiraling again. Was this a threat to Jasmine? Was this a warning to the media? Or was it his way of admitting the truth without saying it? The comments were flooded. "This man scared. Oh, he guilty, guilty. Jasmine better watch her back." The city felt like it was holding its breath, waiting for the next shoe to drop. Emotions ran high, families stood divided, and fans were glued to their screens. One thing was clear. The saga wasn't over. If anything, the real story was just beginning, and the truth was more dangerous than anyone imagined. The sun rose over Atlanta, but instead of peace, the city woke up buzzing louder than the night before. Jasmine's face was plastered across every blog, her name trending across every platform, and the streets whispered with the same question. If Kirk Frost wasn't the father, then who was? The photo of her with the mystery man had been reposted thousands of times, analyzed frame by frame like it was evidenced in a trial. Fans wrote theories, some convinced it was all a setup, others sure that Jasmine had been hiding this truth for years to protect herself, or maybe even protect the man now caught in the storm. The betrayal cut across the fanbase. Half demanded justice for Rasheeda, while others accused Kirk of knowing more than he ever admitted. Rasheeda sat at her vanity, staring at her reflection in silence. Her phone lay face down, buzzing relentlessly with calls and notifications, but she couldn't bring herself to look. How do I even face people after this? She whispered to herself. She thought about the countless times she defended Kirk, even when it tore her apart. She thought about the way fans called her weak, foolish, blind. And now the world discovered the scandal wasn't even what everyone believed. They made me the fool, and I didn't even have the whole truth, she said, shaking her head, her voice breaking. Her son walked into the room quietly, concern in his eyes. Mom, are you okay? Rasheeda forced a smile, hiding her tears. I'm fine, baby. Just fine. But her heart was crumbling. Kirk, on the other hand, was drowning in mixed emotions. In his studio, surrounded by half-written lyrics and beats that couldn't drown out the noise, he ranted to his closest friend. You see how they doin' me. First I'm the monster, now I'm the clown who took the blame for a kid that ain't even mine. I can't win. I can't win, man. His friend leaned back, sighing. But at least you free now. They can't pin this on you anymore. Kirk shook his head, eyes dark. Nah, you don't get it. I already paid the price. My wife don't trust me. The fans don't trust me. You think one revelation fixes that? Hell no. Meanwhile, Jasmine was cornered in her own apartment. Her best friend showed up with groceries and worry etched on her face. Girl, you can't hide forever. You know that, right? Jasmine wrapped her arms around herself, her voice small. I didn't mean for it to get this far. I thought if I stayed quiet, it would all just fade out? But it never did. It just grew. Her friend shook her head. You let them destroy themselves for a lie you held. Rasheeda went through hell. Kirk went through hell, and now it's you. People ain't gonna forgive this easy. Jasmine bit her lip until it bled. You think I don't know that? I was protecting him. I was protecting someone who didn't even deserve it. Outside, the blog spun faster than ever. One site leaked an old photo Jasmine and the mystery man at a party years ago, standing too close, smiling too wide. Another blog claimed insiders confirmed he was part of Jasmine's life, long before the scandal broke. That whispers of him being the father had been around, but silenced. The comments exploded. So she really lied all this time. Poor Rasheeda. Kirk deserves an apology. Nah, Kirk still ain't innocent. He knew something. Fans argued endlessly, their emotions raw and divided. Rasheeda finally broke her silence with a single Instagram post, a black background, white letters reading, "The truth always comes out." No names, no explanation, just those words. But within minutes, the post had millions of likes, comments flooding with sympathy and anger. Queen, you didn't deserve this. Stand tall, sis. Justice for Rasheeda. Kirk reposted the same words on his story, fueling even more chaos. Was this a united front? Or just damage control? Jasmine saw the posts and crumbled onto her couch, sobbing. Her phone buzzed again. It was him, the man at the center of it all. You better keep my name out your mouth. The text read, you think social media pressure scares me? Don't forget who you dealing with. Jasmine threw her phone across the room, screaming into the silence. I'm so tired of being scared. Her child stirred in the other room, and she quickly wiped her face, pulling herself together. Mommy's okay, baby, she whispered, her voice shaking. But deep down, she knew she wasn't. The fans weren't the only ones talking. Production from Love and Hip Hop saw the ratings gold in front of them. Secret meetings buzzed with ideas of how to twist this revelation into the next season's storyline. This is bigger than anything we've done, one producer said. The betrayal, the drama, the real father. This is television history. But not everyone agreed. If we push too far, we're playing with people's lives, another warned. But in the world of reality TV, scandal was currency, and this was the biggest scandal yet. The mystery man himself wasn't staying completely quiet either. He appeared in a blurry video posted to his socials, his voice low, his tone defiant. People out here spreading lies. Y'all don't know me, Y'all don't know the truth. Stop speaking on what you don't understand. The video was short, cryptic, and only made the frenzy worse. Fans dissected his every word, his every look, convinced it was a confession in disguise. Rasheeda scrolled through the chaos that night, her heart pounding. She looked over at Kirk, who sat across from her in silence. Years of pain sat between them like a ghost. So what now? She asked quietly. Kirk sighed, staring at the floor. I don't know. I just know I'm tired of being the villain. Rasheeda's eyes filled with tears. And I'm tired of being the fool. The room fell into silence again, broken only by the buzz of their phones, reminding them that the world wasn't going to let this go anytime soon. As the night deepened, Jasmine stood by her window, staring out at the city lights. Her chest ached with the weight of secrets finally breaking open. She whispered to herself, "It was supposed to be different. It was supposed to stay between us." But the truth had slipped through her fingers, and now the world owned it. And in the shadows of the city, fans waited for the next move. Would Jasmine confess? Would the real father step forward? Would Rasheeda ever forgive? The drama had only begun to unfold, and emotions had never run higher. The family was left divided, the fans were in shock, and the story was spiraling into something bigger than anyone could have ever planned. The streets of Atlanta pulsed with gossip like blood through veins. Every corner shop, every club, every radio station echoing the same name, Jasmine. The secret she thought she could bury had become the biggest story in the city. And now it stretched beyond Atlanta, splashing across national blogs and celebrity news sites. The headlines screamed betrayal in big bold letters. And the photos of her with the mystery man became evidence fans clung to like gospel. People weren't just questioning the scandal anymore, they were demanding the truth. Rasheeda tried to escape it, stepping out for a simple coffee run, but the whispers followed her like shadows. Two women in line behind her didn't notice she was within earshot. Poor thing. Can you imagine? Years thinking your man cheated with Jasmine, and then finding out it wasn't even him. The other shook her head, voice dripping with disbelief. I would have left him years ago. That girl Jasmine ruined her marriage for no reason. Shame. Rasheeda clenched her jaw, gripping her cup tighter. She wanted to scream at them, tell them they didn't know the full story. But all she did was walk out silently, holding her head high while her insides twisted with rage. Kirk, meanwhile, was drowning in the noise. At his studio, producers and artists gave him side glances, whispering behind his back. He slammed the door to the booth and shouted, "Everybody wanna act like they perfect. Everybody wanna point fingers. Y'all ain't lived in my shoes. Y'all ain't felt the weight I've been carrying." His voice cracked, and one of the younger producers tried to calm him down. "Big bro, just go live. Tell your side. Fans need to hear from you, not the blogs." Kirk shook his head. "Nah, if I talk now, they'll twist it. I'm done letting the world control my story." But deep inside, he knew silence was just another chain around his neck. Jasmine was cornered in her own apartment, pacing the floor as her child played innocently in the background. Her best friend pleaded again, "You gotta say something. Right now, the internet owns your story. If you don't speak, they'll bury you." Jasmine stopped, tears streaming down her face. "What do I say? That I lied. That I ruined lives because I was scared. I can't do that." Her friend grabbed her shoulders. "Jasmine, you don't get it. They already know. The only thing left is whether you tell it or they drag it out, piece by piece." Jasmine pulled away, collapsing onto the couch, sobbing into her hands. As night fell, the mystery man's name was no longer a rumor. Screenshots surfaced, old conversations between him and Jasmine, leaked by someone close. "You know I got you. I'll always protect you and our little one." One message read, the date stamped years back. Fans erupted online. "We got the receipts. Kirk really was innocent all along." Hashtags trended, dragging Jasmine's name through the mud, lifting Kirk slightly out of it, and pouring love onto Rasheeda. But even as fans rallied behind her, Rasheeda didn't feel victorious, she felt empty. In her kitchen, she and Kirk sat across from each other in silence. She finally broke it, voice low but sharp. "You see what this did to me? To us? I lost trust in you, in myself, in everything we built. And now, all those tears, all that shamit wasn't even real. Do you know how that feels?" Kirk dropped his head, unable to meet her eyes. "I know I messed up in other ways, but this one wasn't me." His voice was almost a whisper. Rasheeda shook her head. "Doesn't matter? The damage is permanent." The next morning, Jasmine stepped outside for the first time since the news broke. Paparazzi cameras flashed, microphones shoved in her face. "Jasmine, is it true? Who's the real father? Why did you hide it? Did Kirk know?" She shielded her face, rushing to her car, her lips pressed tight, refusing to give them the satisfaction. But that silence only fueled the fire. By the time she got home, headlines screamed, "Jasmine refuses to confirm," feeding the frenzy even more. Production meetings at Love and Hip Hop were heating up. "We need to bring this to the screen," one exec said, tapping the table. "The fans want closure, and this is bigger than anything we've had before." Another exec leaned forward. "Closure? There is no closure. This is chaos. If we put this on camera, it's gonna break them apart even worse." The room split between those hungry for ratings and those worried about the human cost. But everyone knew the network wouldn't let a scandal this big slip away. The mystery man himself kept fanning the flames. He posted another cryptic line on his socials. "Truth always finds a way." No names, no pictures, but fans went wild, convinced it was his way of claiming the child without saying it outright. People reposted it, dissected it, tagged Jasmine and Kirk endlessly. In her living room, Jasmine threw her phone down. "He thinks he's untouchable. He thinks hiding behind cryptic posts keeps him safe. He don't know what it's like to have the world tear you apart." Her friend sat beside her, trying to calm her. "Then take back your power. Jasmine, tell your truth before he does." Jasmine stared at the wall, her face pale. "If I tell everything, I'm not sure I'll survive it." By now, fans were at war. Some demanded Jasmine be cut from the show completely, calling her a liar who destroyed a family for no reason. Others defended her, saying she was young, scared, manipulated, and maybe protecting someone dangerous. Hashtags like #Justice for Rasheeda, #Kirk cleared, and #Jasmine exposed trended all at once, proof that the entire saga had divided not just the cast, but the entire audience. Late that night, Kirk scrolled through the chaos, pausing on a fan comment that hit him harder than any other. "You might not be the father, but you let your wife drown in pain while you stayed silent. Guilty or not, you failed her." Kirk shut off his phone, his chest tight. Maybe the truth freed him from one lie, but it trapped him in another, the realization that the damage to his marriage might never heal. Across the city, Jasmine sat by her child's bed, watching him sleep. She brushed his hair back gently and whispered, "I just wanted to keep you safe. I didn't mean for the world to hate me." But her words dissolved in the silence, and she knew the world wouldn't forgive so easily. And as the city prepared for another day, fans braced themselves for whatever came next. Because in this saga, every revelation led to another. Every truth carried another lie, and the real baby daddy drama had only just begun. The next morning, Atlanta woke up to chaos louder than ever before. Radios blasted panel discussions about Jasmine's scandal. Podcasts uploaded emergency episodes, breaking down the timeline. And every gossip blog splashed the same headline across their front pages: "Jasmine lead, Kirk cleared." The whole city was talking. And beyond Atlanta, the story had gone national, feeding hungry fans across the country who lived for love and hip-hop drama. Rasheeda walked through her boutique in silence, trying to busy herself with folding clothes and answering calls from customers, but nothing felt normal. Her employees whispered behind racks, eyes darting toward her as if waiting for her to collapse again. She finally stopped, dropped the clothes in her hands, and muttered, "I can't do this today." Stepping into the back room, she buried her face in her hands. Years of humiliation replayed in her mind: accusations, reunion fights, internet trolls mocking her pain, and now the world was saying it was all unnecessary. She whispered to herself, "They dragged me through hell for nothing." Nothing. Kirk, meanwhile, was restless, pacing around the house. His phone buzzed nonstop with texts from old friends, enemies, even strangers. Some messages said he was vindicated, others still cursed him out, claiming he played along too long. Kirk growled into the empty room, "Damned if I do, damned if I don't." He called Rasheeda, his voice heavy. "Babe, we need to talk face to face, not through posts. People already writing our story for us." Rasheeda snapped back, her voice icy. "You let them write it for years, Kirk. Now you want to fix it. Too late." The line went dead, leaving Kirk clutching his phone, anger mixing with regret. Jasmine sat on her couch, staring blankly at the wall, while her friend scrolled through the madness on her phone. "Girl, they found more. Somebody dug up old pictures, you and him at that birthday party back in the day. They piecing it together fast." Jasmine groaned, covering her face. "It's over. I can't hide anymore. They know it's him. Everybody knows." Her friend leaned forward. "Then say it. Own it. The longer you stay silent, the more they eat you alive." Jasmine shook her head violently. "You don't understand. He told me to keep quiet. He told me what would happen if I dragged his name into this." Outside her door, paparazzi camped out, shouting questions through the hallway whenever they thought she might come out. Jasmine, who's the real father? Are you gonna admit it? Did Kirk know all along? Their voices banged against her walls, and Jasmine covered her ears, tears streaming down her face. The mystery man's name was now everywhere. Fans had pieced it together, linking old comments, pictures, and even studio sessions he shared with Jasmine years back. Twitter erupted with threads, fans posting "We told y'all from the start, and this explains why she was so protective." His face was plastered across memes, his name hashtagged into oblivion. But with exposure came danger. People from his past began speaking up, stories about his temper, his connections, and the kind of power he wielded in the city. Suddenly, Jasmine's fear made sense to those who once called her a liar. Rasheeda's family gathered at her house that night, trying to comfort her. Her mother spoke firmly. "Baby, you didn't deserve this. The truth coming out now doesn't erase what you lived through. But don't you dare let this woman or this man steal your dignity again." Rasheeda nodded weakly, her eyes heavy with exhaustion. "Mama, I just want peace. I don't care about revenge. I don't care about the truth anymore. I just want my life back." But even as she said it, she knew peace was impossible when millions of eyes stayed fixed on her every move. The network was already circling like sharks. Producers sent messages to all through Rasheeda, Kirk, and Jasmine, dangling contracts, hinting at specials, reunion tapings, new seasons fueled by the scandal. Kirk considered it, thinking about how money could flip the narrative in his favor. But Rasheeda wanted no part of it. "I'm not putting my pain on display for them again," she snapped when Kirk suggested the idea. "I'm done being their storyline." Jasmine, on the other hand, wrestled with temptation. The money, the platform, the chance to finally speak her truth in front of cameras, it could give her control. But the danger of exposing the real father made her hesitate. As the pressure mounted, the mystery man himself finally went live on Instagram. His face filled the screen, his tone sharp, his eyes full of fire. "Y'all running your mouths about me, about her, about a kid that don't concern you. Let me make this clearant, none of y'all know the truth. Keep my name out your lies." The comments section exploded, fans screaming, "He admitting it, look at his face." Jasmine was telling the truth. His attempt to shut it down only poured gasoline on the fire. Kirk watched the live in silence, a bitter laugh escaping his lips. "Now he wanna act like he the victim," he muttered. Rasheeda, watching the same live in another room, felt a chill run down her spine. "That's him," she whispered to herself. "That's the one she was protecting all this time." The fans grew more divided than ever. Some stood behind Jasmine, saying she was trapped by fear and manipulation, forced to lie for survival. Others dragged her mercilessly, saying she ruined lives for attention and fame. Rasheeda gained sympathy, but even she grew tired of being pitied. Kirk hovered in the gray zone, hated by some, forgiven by others. But the real father, the man at the center, emerged as the true villain in the eyes of the public. Late that night, Jasmine rocked her child to sleep, her tears dripping onto his blanket. "I'm sorry, baby," she whispered. "I tried to protect you. I tried to protect us. But maybe I was wrong. Maybe the truth was always gonna find its way." She kissed his forehead gently, knowing that the storm outside her door wasn't going away. And as Atlanta buzzed with anticipation, the saga tightened its grip. The fans demanded closure. The family was more divided than ever. And the truth, ugly, dangerous, and unstoppable, was unraveling faster than anyone could control. The city waited, breathless, for Jasmine's next move, because no matter what she chose, the drama was far from over. The night rolled in heavy and restless, thunder rumbling in the distance as if Atlanta itself was bracing for what came next. The scandal had reached a fever pitch, fans refreshing their feeds every second, searching for the next clue, the next post, the next live that would blow the case wide open. Jasmine's name wasn't just trending anymore, it was dominating every conversation from barbershops to church pews. The streets hummed with her story, the air sticky with judgment and curiosity. Rasheeda sat on her porch in silence, a glass of wine in her hand, scrolling through messages from fans. Some begged her to leave Kirk once and for all, others praised her for standing strong, and some accused her of being complicit in keeping the lie alive. She shook her head, her eyes burning. "I was never complicit. I was a prisoner," she muttered to herself. Her phone buzzed with a text from Kirk. "We need to stand together on this. They'll eat us alive if we don't." She typed back furiously, "Stand together. After all these years, don't you get it? I don't even know if I want to stand with you at all." She deleted the message before sending it, sighing deeply, caught between rage and exhaustion. Kirk was in his car, driving aimlessly through the city, his mind spinning. Radio hosts were laughing about the scandal, his name tossed around like a joke. Kirk Frost took the biggest L in hip-hop history. One joked, and Kirk gripped the steering wheel tighter. His teeth clenched. He muttered to himself, "They gone regret laughing at me. They all gone regret it." He pulled over, scrolling through his phone, tempted to go live, tempted to pour out the truth. But his pride wouldn't let him. Instead, he tossed the phone onto the passenger seat and slammed his hands against the wheel. Jasmine was a prisoner in her own home. Blinds drawn, lights dimmed. Her friend sat across from her, scrolling on her phone, whispering updates. They saying his people are watching you. They saying you better not say nothing stupid. Jasmine rubbed her temples, tears streaming down her cheeks. I'm tired of being scared. I've been scared for years. Scared of losing everything. Scared of him. Scared of the truth. But what has silence ever given me? Hate, humiliation, pain. Maybe it's time. Her friend leaned closer, eyes wide. Jasmine, if you go live and say his name, you know what that means. He ain't Kirk. He's dangerous. This ain't just reality TV anymore. Jasmine looked up, her face pale but determined. Let them come. I'm done protecting someone who never protected me. While she wrestled with her decision, the blogs kept pushing. One site dropped a bombshell, a leaked voicemail, allegedly from the mystery man to Jasmine years ago. His voice was unmistakable. You know what this is. You keep quiet. You don't ruin what we got. Don't play with me. The audio spread like wildfire, fans dissecting every second. He threatened her. One fan wrote, "This proves why she stayed silent." Another argued. Others weren't as sympathetic. She still lied. She still ruined Rasheeda's life. The debate split fans into two camps, Team Jasmine and Team Rasheeda, and both sides went to war online. Rasheeda's mother stormed into her house, her voice booming. "You see what I told you all along? That girl was lying, and now the whole world sees it. You let her drag your name, drag our family, and for what? So she could protect some thug." Rasheeda tried to stay calm. "Mama, yelling ain't helping. I know what she did. I lived through it." Her mother shook her head, tears in her eyes. "Baby, you deserve better than this circus. Walk away from Kirk. Walk away from all of it. Start fresh." Rasheeda swallowed hard, the thought tempting but terrifying. On the other side of town, Kirk's phone buzzed with a call from a producer. "Listen, Kirk, we need you for a sit-down. America wants to hear your side, unfiltered. We'll make it worth your while." Kirk hesitated, then asked, "And what about Rasheeda?" The producer sighed. "She don't want in, but with or without her, people want to hear you." Kirk hung up, torn. He wanted to clear his name, but he also knew that every word would be twisted, every emotion dissected. Meanwhile, the mystery man's camp started fighting back. One of his associates posted online, "Y'all believe anything. Keep spreading lies about my brother and see what happens." The post sent chills through fans, who immediately speculated about threats and retaliation. Jasmine read it, her hands trembling, her heart pounding. "He's not gonna stop. He'll ruin me before he ever lets the truth breathe." Her friend grabbed her hand. "Then ruin him first." Jasmine nodded slowly, her eyes filled with both fear and resolve. The city itself felt heavy, like every building, every street corner carried pieces of the scandal. Fans recorded themselves reacting, crying, screaming, debating. The hashtag baby daddy truth climbed to the top of every platform. Celebrities even chimed in, some siding with Jasmine, others backing Rasheeda, and a few condemning Kirk for staying silent so long. Late that night, Jasmine set up her phone on the counter, her finger hovering over the go live button. Her chest rose and fell rapidly, her breath shaky. "Once I do this, there's no going back," she whispered. Her child's laughter drifted from the next room, and she closed her eyes. "I'm doing this for him. Not for me. For him." With one trembling hand, she tapped the screen, the countdown beginning. The notification hit phones across the world. Jasmine Washington is live. Fans rushed in by the thousands, the comment section exploding before she even spoke. "Tell us the truth. Is it him? Is Kirk free? We need answers." Jasmine stared at the screen, her tears glistening under the light, and finally whispered, "I can't live like this anymore. You all deserve the truth." The feed shook as her hand trembled, her voice breaking. "The real father of my child is," and just as the name left her lips, the live cut off. Black screen. Silence. Fans screamed online. Hashtags erupting instantly. "They cut her off. She said it. They don't want us to know." The city erupted with more questions than answers. The drama boiling over into something bigger, darker, and far more dangerous than before. Phones buzzed like alarms across the city as fans screamed into comment sections, convinced Jasmine's life had been sabotaged. "They cut her off. Instagram glitched on purpose. Somebody shut her down before she could finish. Within minutes, conspiracy theories spiraled out of control. Some claimed the mystery man's camp hacked her feed. Others swore the network pulled strings to keep the reveal for cameras. Whatever the reason, the result was the same. The truth dangled in front of millions, then vanished into smoke. Rasheeda watched the chaos unfold on her phone, her chest tight. She whispered, she almost said it. She almost let it out. Her son called from the other room, and she quickly locked the screen, forcing herself to smile as she answered him, but her hands shook uncontrollably. She knew the world was eating up Jasmine's hesitation, and deep down, she feared that silence might stretch for years again. Kirk, meanwhile, erupted in fury. He threw his phone across the room, the screen shattering against the wall. Every damn time she leaves me hanging like this, he shouted, pacing wildly. His friend tried to calm him down, but Kirk's voice was raw. I took all the hits, all the humiliation, and now she got the chance to clear my name for good, and she choked. He slammed his fist against the wall, sweat dripping down his face. I can't live in limbo no more. She needs to finish this. At Jasmine's apartment, the tension was unbearable. Her best friend grabbed her by the shoulders. Why'd you stop? Why'd you freeze? Jasmine's eyes were wide with terror. It wasn't me. The livet cut off on its own. I swear I said his name. I said it. She clutched her chest, gasping for air. He knows I tried. Her phone vibrated with a new message. She picked it up with trembling hands, her heart stopping when she read the words. You should have stayed quiet. No sender name, just a blocked number. The message spread panic through her. She dropped the phone, curling into herself on the couch. He's watching me, she whispered. He's everywhere. Her friend shook her head. Then let the world protect you. Go live again. Finish it. Jasmine shook violently, tears streaming down her face. You don't get it. If I say his name again, I'm not the only one in danger. My baby, she broke off, clutching a photo of her son, sobbing uncontrollably. The blogs wasted no time. Within an hour, headlines screamed, Jasmine, life cut short, who stopped her? Videos of the sudden blackout circulated, fans slowing down frames to catch the muffled word on her lips. It started with a D. One user claimed, she said Devin. Others argued she said Derek. The speculation only made the frenzy grow. Hashtags like hashtag who is he and hashtag Jasmine knew trended for hours. Rasheeda's mother called her again, her voice sharp and commanding. This is too dangerous now, baby. You need to step back. Focus on your life, your marriage, your family. Let Jasmine drown in her own lies. Rasheeda sighed heavily. But mama, it still affects me. No matter what she says. My name is tied to this forever. Her mother's voice softened. Then take back your power. Don't let her control your story anymore. Over in a smoky club on Edgewood, the mystery man himself appeared for the first time since the failed live. Surrounded by his entourage, he laughed into the camera as someone streamed him. Y'all chasing lies, he boomed, flashing a grin. Ain't nobody got the truth but me. And trust me, I ain't telling. The crowd cheered, but the comments were savage. He's guilty. That laugh says, it all. Jasmine was about to say his name. Instead of clearing the air, his arrogance only fueled the storm. Kirk caught wind of the clip and nearly exploded. He think this a joke? My life, my marriage, my reputation, and he think it's funny. He stormed out of his house, ignoring calls from Rasheeda, driving into the night. I'll handle this myself, he muttered, his voice low and dangerous. At Jasmine's place, her nerves frayed to breaking point. She sat in the dark, rocking back and forth, whispering to herself. They deserve to know. They all deserve to know. Her friend begged her to sleep, to breathe, but Jasmine's eyes were wide, wild. No, I'm gonna say it again. And this time, I won't be silenced. She set her phone up once more, her fingers trembling as she hovered over the button. And just as she prepared to go live again, a loud bang rattled her door. She froze. Her friend gasped, whispering, "Who is that?" Jasmine's breath hitched, her entire body stiffening. Her phone buzzed again with another blocked message. Last warning. The screen glowed in front of her, the red Go Live button waiting. Outside, the pounding grew louder, echoing through the apartment like a heartbeat. Fans everywhere refreshed their feeds, desperate for answers, unaware that inside Jasmine's home, the danger had already stepped right up to her door. The pounding on Jasmine's door grew louder, rattling the hinges with each hit. Her friend clutched her arm, whispering in panic, "Don't open it. Jasmine, don't you dare open that door." Jasmine's eyes darted around the room, her breathing shallow, her heart racing like a drum. The baby stirred in the next room, crying softly, as if sensing the danger. Jasmine froze, her body shaking. Her phone buzzed again with another blocked message. She picked it up, her hands trembling so hard she almost dropped it. The words on the screen sent a chill through her entire body. "Stop, oh, or we step in." Her friend grabbed the phone, reading it aloud, her voice trembling. "Jasmine, this ain't just gossip anymore. This is real. This is dangerous." Jasmine's lips quivered as she whispered, "I've been living in fear for years. But I'm tired. I can't let them control me anymore. Not him, not the blogs, not the fans." The banging stopped suddenly. Silence filled the room, thick and suffocating. Jasmine and her friend stared at the door, waiting for another sound, but nothing came. Jasmine whispered, "They're watching. I know they're watching." She rushed to the window, peeking through the blinds, her eyes scanning the street below. A black SUV sat parked with tinted windows, engine running. "It's them," she muttered, her voice breaking. "He sent them to scare me." Meanwhile, across town, Kirk sat in his car outside a club, watching the mystery man through the tinted glass of his own vehicle. The man laughed with his entourage, drinks in hand, as if the scandal hadn't touched him. Kirk's jaw tightened, his fist gripping the steering wheel so hard his knuckles turned white. "You think this is funny?" Kirk muttered under his breath. "You think ruining my marriage, my life, my name, is some kind of game?" His phone buzzed with a call from Rasheeda, but he ignored it, eyes locked on the man he once thought invisible. Inside Rasheeda's house, her mother and sister tried to comfort her, but she couldn't sit still. "He's out there, doing God knows what, while my family's torn apart. And Jasmine, she's out here acting like the victim, but she's the one who let this lie live." Her voice cracked, but her anger burned through. "I want to hear it from her mouth. I want her to look me in my eyes and tell me the truth. No cameras, no blogs, just me and her." Her mother squeezed her hand. "Then make it happen. Don't wait for them to give you peace. Take it." Back at Jasmine's apartment, she sat down, her child in her lap, rocking him back and forth as tears streamed down her face. "I'm sorry, baby. I'm so sorry." She kissed his forehead, her voice trembling. "I thought protecting him would protect us, but now I see it only destroyed everything." Her friend placed a hand on her shoulder. "You can still fix this, Jasmine. You can still take control." Jasmine nodded slowly, wiping her tears. "Then let's do it. Let's go live, right now." She set the phone back up, her hand shaking as she hit the button. The notifications spread instantly. "Jasmine Washington is live." Thousands flooded in within seconds, the comments exploding. "Tell us, who is it?" "No more games, just me." She stared into the screen, her face pale but determined. "I know you all have been waiting for the truth. I tried to say it before, but they stopped me. They don't want me to tell you. But I can't keep living like this. I can't let my child grow up in lies." Her voice cracked, but her eyes stayed locked on the camera. "The real father is." The screen glitched, freezing for a moment. Fans screamed in the comments. "Not again. Say it louder." Jasmine slammed her hand against the counter, shouting, "His name is." The sound cut out. The video stuttered, then returned, her lips moving but no audio coming through. Fans filled the comments with guesses, typing names, debating furiously. At the same time, Kirk's phone blew up. Messages from fans, producers, even old friends, all claiming Jasmine had finally said it, that the truth was finally out. Kirk leaned back in his seat, laughing bitterly. "Took you long enough." But as he scrolled, his laughter faded. The name being thrown around wasn't just familiar, it was dangerous. The comments pointed to one man, Darius Cole, an Atlanta music executive with ties to money, power, and a reputation that scared even the toughest names in the industry. Kirk's chest tightened. "Oh no," he muttered. "Not him. Darius wasn't someone to be exposed. Not publicly. Not without consequences." Jasmine's live ended abruptly again, the feed cutting to black. Fans flooded social media, posting clips of her lips forming the name, insisting they saw it clearly. "She said, Darius," one fan wrote. "This whole time it was him." The hashtag Darius exposed shot to #1 worldwide. Back in her apartment, Jasmine collapsed to the floor, sobbing uncontrollably. Her phone lit up with another blocked message. "You just made a mistake." Her friend grabbed the phone, fear spreading across her face. "Jasmine, what did you just do?" Jasmine buried her face in her hands, whispering, "I just ended everything." Meanwhile, Rasheeda scrolled through the chaos, her heart pounding. She whispered to herself, "Darius Cole. It was him all along." Her phone buzzed with a call from Kirk. When she answered, his voice was low, urgent. Rasheeda, this ain't just drama anymore. This is dangerous. Darius ain't the type of man you play with. Jasmine might have just signed her own death sentence. Rasheeda froze, her stomach sinking. Then what about us, Kirk? What about our family? Are we safe? And somewhere in the city, Darius Cole sat in a darkened office, his phone glowing as he scrolled through the chaos. He smirked, leaned back in his chair, and muttered, "She really thought she could say my name." He picked up the phone, dialing a number. "Handle it," he ordered. The city was now boiling with fear and anticipation. Jasmine had finally cracked the silence, but in doing so, she had unleashed something far darker. The fans were still glued to their screens, the family torn deeper than ever. And the shadow of Darius Cole loomed large over everyone. The truth was out, but the cost of exposing it had only just begun. Do you want me to keep pushing the drama even darker in the next part like actual confrontation between Jasmine and Darius, or keep it more reality TV style with fan reactions, family breakdowns, and social media wars? Jasmine barely slept, her body jolting awake at every creak of the floor, every car door outside, every vibration of her phone. The night felt endless, shadows crawling across her walls as if they were alive. Her best friend sat slumped on the couch, refusing to leave her side, eyes wide and heavy with fear. When the baby cried, Jasmine rushed to his room, clutching him tightly as though someone might rip him away. Her whisper cracked as she rocked him. "Mommy's here, baby. I won't let anyone hurt you." But her voice betrayed her, thin and trembling, as if even she didn't believe her own promise anymore. Meanwhile, the world outside spun faster. Fans dissected every frame of Jasmine's broken live stream, slowing down her lips, overlaying subtitles. "Posting. Clips with circles and arrows. She said Darius, clear as day." One fan insisted. Another replied, "Nah." She mouthed Devin. Y'all reaching. Twitter, TikTok and Instagram flooded with heated debates. Hashtags like hashtag Darius Cole, hashtag BabyDaddyTruth, and hashtag Jasmine Exposed dominated feeds. Celebrities weighed in now too, some siding with Jasmine, others calling her reckless. One Atlanta rapper posted, "If y'all know Darius, y'all know not to play with his name." Jasmine wild for this. That single post only made fans hungrier. Rasheeda scrolled in silence, her chest heavy. Her phone vibrated nonstop with calls from friends and even strangers offering support. She finally tossed it across the bed, tears stinging her eyes. "Support," she muttered bitterly. "Where was that support when I was getting clowned for years?" Her sister came in, trying to comfort her. "At least now you know, sis. It wasn't Kirk. It never was." Rasheeda shook her head, staring at the ceiling. "But I lived through the pain like it was him. I felt it in my bones. No truth can erase that." Kirk, restless, met up with a close confidant at a late-night diner. He slammed his hands on the table, his voice low but fierce. "Rasheeda might not forgive me, but this Darius thing, it's about to get ugly. That man don't play. You think he'd gone let Jasmine air his name and get away with it? Nah. This city about to shake." His friend leaned in, whispering, "Then stay out of it. You've been dragged enough. Don't put yourself in Darius's path." Kirk shook his head. "Too late. I'm already in it. If Jasmine goes down, we all go down with her." In her apartment, Jasmine's phone buzzed again. Another blocked number. Her stomach twisted as she picked it up. The message read, "Meet me tomorrow. Alone, or it gets worse." Her friend snatched the phone, panic in her eyes. "You can't. Jasmine, this is a trap." Jasmine sank into the couch, her body heavy with dread. "If I don't, he'll never stop. I have to face him." The next day, cameras caught Jasmine leaving her building, her hood pulled up, sunglasses hiding her swollen eyes. Paparazzi shouted questions as she rushed into a waiting car. "Jasmine, is Darius the father? Are you scared for your life? What does Kirk think?" She stayed silent, the car speeding off into traffic. By evening, blogs had a new headline. "Jasmine spotted on the move, is she meeting the real father?" Rasheeda saw the headline and felt her stomach drop. She dialed Kirk, her voice sharp. "She's about to meet him, isn't she?" "Jasmine's about to meet Darius." Kirk sighed heavily, his voice tired. "Yeah, and if she does, it's not gonna end clean." Rasheeda's voice cracked with frustration. "Why can't she just leave us out of this? Hasn't she destroyed enough?" Kirk stayed silent, guilt-eating at him. Jasmine's car pulled up to a warehouse on the edge of the city, the sun dipping low behind it. Her hands shook as she stepped out, her friend begging her not to go inside. "Please, Jasmine, you don't have to do this." Jasmine shook her head, her voice small but determined. I need to end this, one way or another." She walked into the dimly lit building, her footsteps echoing off the concrete. Inside, Darius sat waiting, his frame imposing, his eyes cold. He leaned back in his chair, smirking as she approached. "You really couldn't keep your mouth shut, could you?" Jasmine froze, her throat tight, fear pulsing through her veins. "The truth was eating me alive," she whispered. Darius stood slowly, towering over her. "Truth don't matter, in this game. Only power does. And you just gave all yours away." Outside, her friend waited anxiously in the car, watching the warehouse door, biting her nails until they bled. Paparazzi hadn't found them yet, but the danger in the air was thicker than ever. And across the city, fans stayed glued to their screens, speculating about Jasmine's every move, unaware that behind the gossip, behind the memes and hashtags, Jasmine was standing face to face with the man she had been protecting for years. The man who could destroy her with a single word. Atlanta held its breath, waiting for what would happen inside those warehouse walls. And for the first time, the love and hip-hop drama felt less like television and more like survival. "Do you want me to continue straight from inside the warehouse?" Face-to-face showdown with Darius, or expand first on how fans, media, and the Frost family react in real time while she's walking into that meeting. Under the dim yellow light of the warehouse, Jasmine felt the air turn heavy, like every breath she took was borrowed time. Darius Cole stood in front of her, tall, broad, his presence enough to silence a room without saying a word. The city knew his name whispered in rumors, music deals, money changing hands, shady connections, but never tied to something this personal, this explosive. Now Jasmine, trembling but defiant, faced him alone. Her voice cracked, but she forced the words out. "I couldn't lie anymore. I couldn't carry it alone." Darius smirked, slow and deliberate, stepping closer until she could smell his cologne mixed with smoke. "You think the world cares about your truth? You think they care about you? Nah, Jasmine. They care about the show, the scandal, and you just turned yourself into the biggest target in Atlanta." Her knees felt weak, but she clenched her fists, whispering, "I don't care about the show. I care about my son." The word son seemed to cut through the room like glass. Darius's smirk faltered for the first time, his jaw tightening. He leaned in, his voice low and sharp. "Then you should have kept your mouth shut, because now everybody knows he's mine. And when people know my business, it puts us all in danger." Jasmine's eyes welled, but she didn't look away. "Then be a father. Protect him instead of threatening me." Outside, her friend waited in the car, gripping the steering wheel so tight her hands shook. She texted Jasmine over and over, "Are you okay? Please come out," but the messages stayed unread. She glanced toward the warehouse door, every second stretching into forever. Across town, fans were glued to their screens, dissecting every rumor. Bloggers streamed live updates, claiming sources spotted Jasmine's car at the warehouse. One YouTube channel shouted into the mic, "She's meeting Darius right now. This is happening live, y'all." Comment sections exploded. "No way she survives this. She's braver than I thought. Poor Rasheeda must be losing it." The entire city became a theater, and Jasmine, the unwilling star of a show that could end in tragedy. Rasheeda sat on her couch, her mother pacing behind her. Her phone buzzed with updates, fans tagging her in posts, demanding her reaction. "Sis, you gotta say something," her sister urged. Rasheeda shook her head, tears streaking her face. "What do they want me to say? Congratulations. Thank you for ruining my life. I'm done being their spectacle." But deep down, she wasn't done. She wanted answers from Jasmine, face to face, no cameras, no audience. She wanted to look in her eyes and ask, why? Kirk wasn't sitting still. He had followed Jasmine's trail, tipped off by someone in the industry who whispered, "She's with Darius." He drove through the city like a man possessed, his knuckles white on the wheel. "She's gonna get herself killed," he muttered. "And if she does, they'll blame me again. I can't let that happen." Back inside the warehouse, Darius's voice grew darker. "You think this is about you, Jasmine? You think you holding some power here? Nah. This is about control. I control the streets, the money, the image. You step out of line. You threaten that control." He stepped even closer, his eyes locked on hers. "But let me make this clear. I don't lose." Jasmine swallowed hard, whispering back, "Then why are you so scared of the truth?" His hand slammed against the wall beside her, making her flinch. "Scared?" He spat. "Girl, I'm the only reason you and that boy still breathing. You forgot that." Jasmine's tears fell freely now, but anger burned through them. "You're the reason I had to lie. You're the reason they hate me. You're the reason I lost everything. And now the whole world knows who you are." At that moment, the warehouse door creaked open. Kirk stormed in, his voice echoing, "Enough." Darius turned slowly, his smirk returning. Look who finally decided to show his face. Jasmine gasped, whispering, "Kirk, what are you doing here?" Kirk's eyes burned with fury, not at Jasmine, not at himself, but at the man who had stolen years of his life. "You let me take the blame. You let me lose my wife, my family, my respect. All while you sat back, laughing. Nah, Darius, we ain't letting this slide." Darius chuckled, shaking his head. "What you gonna do, Kirk? Drop a mixtape about it? You ain't built for this." Kirk stepped forward, fists clenched. "I might not be built like you, but I'm done being your scapegoat." Outside, Jasmine's friends saw Kirk rush in and panicked. She dialed Rasheeda, her voice frantic. "Rasheeda, Kirk's here. He's with Jasmine and Darius. I think something's about to go down." Rasheeda froze, her heart pounding. "What? He went there?" She grabbed her keys, ignoring her mother's protests. "I'm not sitting here while this blows up. If he's there, I'm going to." The warehouse grew tense, silence hanging heavy between Kirk and Darius. Jasmine stood frozen, her tears streaking her cheeks. Darius finally broke the silence, his tone icy. "You think you're saving her? Saving your marriage? Nah, Kirk. You just stepped into a war you can't win." Kirk squared his shoulders, his voice steady. "I don't care about winning. I care about the truth. And the truth is, you ruined lives. You hid while I took all the heat. But tonight, everybody's watching. Darius, you can't hide anymore." As their voices clashed, paparazzi finally tracked the scene, camera flashes lighting up outside the warehouse. Reporters shouted questions, their voices muffled but growing louder. Jasmine's friend screamed from the car. "They're here. The press is here." Jasmine's heart pounded. If the press caught this, if cameras rolled, Darius's secret would be cemented forever. Darius's face hardened, the weight of exposure sinking in. For the first time, fear flickered in his eyes. "You brought them here." He barked at Jasmine. She shook her head furiously, sobbing, "I didn't. I swear I didn't." But Darius wasn't listening. He grabbed her arm, his grip tight, and Kirk lunged forward, shoving him back. "Don't touch her," Kirk shouted. The warehouse doors burst open wider as paparazzi pushed inside, cameras flashing, recording every second. Voices overlapped. "Is Darius the father? Jasmine, is it true? Kirk, how long did you know?" Chaos erupted, flashes blinding everyone. Rasheeda's car screeched to a stop outside. She ran toward the noise, her mother chasing after her, begging her to stop. Rasheeda pushed through the crowd, her eyes locking on Jasmine, Kirk, and Darius in the center of the storm. Her voice cut through the chaos, raw and broken. "Enough, all of you, enough." The crowd hushed for a moment, cameras swinging toward her. Rasheeda stood trembling, her eyes locked on Jasmine. "You ruined me," she whispered, her voice breaking but loud enough to echo in the cavernous warehouse. "You made me hate my husband, hate myself, live in shame. And for what? For him." She pointed at Darius, her tears unstoppable. "For a man who doesn't even care about you." Jasmine fell to her knees, sobbing uncontrollably. "I'm sorry," she choked out. "I thought I was protecting my son. I thought I was protecting us. I didn't know it would destroy everything." The cameras captured every word, fans watching live streams in disbelief. The scene felt less like reality TV and more like a public execution of secrets. Darius tried to slip out, but Kirk blocked his path. "Nah, you stay right here. Everybody sees you now. No more hiding." Outside, police sirens wailed, the flashing lights painting the night in red and blue. Neighbors had called in the chaos, and now the warehouse was surrounded. Officers pushed through the paparazzi, shouting for order. Rasheeda, tears streaming, looked at Kirk, her voice trembling. "What now? What do we even do now?" Kirk shook his head slowly, his eyes heavy with regret. "I don't know. But at least the truth ain't on me anymore." And as police flooded the warehouse, separating bodies, dragging paparazzi out, fans online erupted with a single phrase over and over: "The truth is out." Atlanta wasn't just buzzing anymore, it was burning with the weight of a scandal too big to contain, a truth too dangerous to ignore, and a family too broken to ever be the same again. Police sirens cut through the chaos like knives, their red and blue lights bouncing across the cracked warehouse walls as if exposing every secret hiding in the shadows. The paparazzi shouted louder, their flashes wild, desperate to capture every second before the officers forced them back. Jasmine clung to her child's photo tucked in her pocket, her knees weak, tears pouring down her face. Kirk stood inches from Darius, chest heaving, fists balled, ready to throw away his own freedom if it meant no longer being silenced. And Rasheeda trembled in the middle of it all, her voice raw, Her soul split between the relief of knowing Kirk wasn't the father and the devastation that years of humiliation were still branded on her life like scars that would never fade. An officer barked. Everyone stepped back. Now, his voice echoed, but nobody moved. The cameras still rolled. Thousands of fans watching live feeds online as the scene unfolded like a season finale nobody could have scripted. One reporter shouted over the noise. Jasmine, is it true Darius is the father? Did Kirk know? Rasheeda, are you leaving Kirk? The questions pelted them like stones, each one cutting deeper. Darius snarled, adjusting his jacket as if the cameras annoyed him more than the accusations. Y'all vultures ain't gonna write my story, he hissed, his voice low but sharp. Jasmine screamed back, her pain spilling over. You already wrote it for me. You made me lie. You made me hide, and now I'm the villain in front of the world because of you. Her voice cracked, her sobs echoing off the concrete. Kirk lunged forward again, but officers wedged themselves between him and Darius, holding him back. Stand down, they ordered. Kirk's voice roared above them all, raw and thunderous. You ruined my family, Darius. You let me take the heat while you sat back. Everybody looking at me like a dog, like I betrayed my wife. And you ain't even man enough to admit the truth. Rasheeda stepped forward, her face streaked with tears, her hands shaking. Stop it, all of you, stop it, she whispered, though her voice carried like a scream. The warehouse fell still for a moment, cameras catching every trembling word. She turned to Jasmine, her eyes hollow. You made me the fool. You let me cry on TV, let me break in front of millions, and you knew all along it wasn't Kirk. Do you know what that did to me? Do you know how it feels to live with the whole world laughing at you? Jasmine sobbed harder, collapsing to the floor. I'm sorry, she choked out. I thought I was protecting my son. I thought keeping his name safe meant keeping us safe. I didn't mean to destroy you. But Rasheeda's voice hardened, her pain turning to fury. You didn't just destroy me, you destroyed everything. My trust, my marriage, my peace. And for what? For a man who wouldn't even claim his own child until the truth dragged him out of the shadows. She turned toward Darius, her glare piercing. You ain't nothing but a coward. For the first time, Darius's mask cracked. His smirk faded, his eyes darkening with something uglier than anger fear. Because the police were here now, the cameras rolling, and no amount of money or intimidation could erase the fact that his name was already burned into the scandal. Outside the warehouse, fans stood shoulder to shoulder, recording from their phones, screaming as if they were part of the show. Chants broke out. Justice for Rasheeda. Jasmine, tell it all. Darius exposed. It wasn't just drama anymore, it had become a movement. Rasheeda's mother finally pushed through the chaos, grabbing her daughter by the arm. Baby, let's go. This ain't safe. Rasheeda resisted for a moment, staring at Kirk with a look that held years of love, pain, and betrayal. I don't even know who you are anymore, she whispered. Kirk's face crumbled. I never wanted this. I never wanted you to hurt. But his words sounded empty, drowned out by the roar of the crowd. Jasmine's friend rushed to her side, lifting her off the ground as officers began clearing the room. Come on, Jasmine, we gotta go. Jasmine stumbled, her eyes wide, her body shaking. She muttered through sobs. They're never gonna forgive me. No matter what I say, no matter what I do, they're never gonna forgive me. Her friend held her tighter. Then don't do it for them. Do it for your son. Do it so he don't grow up in this madness. Outside, police held back the press, ushering the key players into separate cars. Kirk shoved past officers, yelling once more toward Darius as he was escorted away. This ain't over. You hear me? This ain't over. Darius smirked again, but this time the cameras caught the cracks in his armor, the tightness in his jaw, the flicker of nerves in his eyes. Back at home, Rasheeda collapsed on her bed, her body shaking with exhaustion. She stared at the ceiling, replaying every word, every look, every tear. Her mother stroked her hair, whispering, It's over now, baby, it's finally over. But Rasheeda shook her head, her voice hollow. No, Mama, this is just the beginning. Nothing will ever be the same. Kirk sat in his car alone, staring into the dark city, tears slipping down his cheeks. For years, he was the villain in a story he didn't write. Now the truth was out, but the damage was done. What's a man supposed to do when his name clear but his life still broken? He whispered to himself. And Jasmine, back in her apartment, curled up beside her son, whispering promises into his ear. I'll protect you. No matter what, I'll protect you. But even she knew the shadow of Darius still loomed, darker than ever now that his secret was public. The fans, the blogs, the producers, they weren't letting go. Headlines screamed across every platform: Darius Gold baby bombshell. Rasheeda demands justice. Kirk breaks silence. Atlanta had never seen a scandal this big, and the world wasn't going to look away. The truth was out, but peace was nowhere in sight. Listen, fam, if you made it all the way through this roller coaster of betrayal, secrets, and shocking revelations, you know this story is far from over. Jasmine finally cracked. Darius's name is out. Kirk and Rasheeda's marriage stands on the edge. And the entire city of Atlanta is buzzing with emotions so raw that nobody can look away. The truth has shattered lives, divided families, and left fans in absolute disbelief. But one question still hangs in the air. What happens next? Will Jasmine survive the backlash? Will Darius fight to silence her for good? Will Rasheeda finally walk away from Kirk? Or will she fight for what's left of their marriage? This saga has flipped everything upside down, and every voice matters in what comes next. So now it's your turn. Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. Do you believe Jasmine deserves forgiveness, or did she destroy too much to ever come back from this? Do you think Kirk is finally cleared, or is he just as guilty for staying silent all those years? And most importantly, should Rasheeda walk away, or give Kirk one last chance? Let your voice be heard, because this isn't just their story anymore, it's ours. Make sure you hit that like button if you were shocked by tonight's reveal. Smash that subscribe so you don't miss the next twist in this unbelievable saga. And turn on notifications because trust me, the drama isn't slowing down anytime soon. Share this video with your friends, tag us with your theories, and let the world know whose side you're on. Jasmine's truth is out, Darius is EXP.